What's up folks, welcome to another video, and we have some exciting news this week. Our Starlink arrived, and as you know, we've been making use of 4G and a directional antenna here on the farm. For the most part it's stable, but it's really not fast, and a lot of times the internet goes down, especially in summer when there's a lot of people, lots of contention on the line. Okay, so I want to show you where I installed the Starlink. It is very windy outside, and that's why I'm recording this inside at the moment. But I put it on the roof of the barn actually, because that's the clearest line of sight we have. Come check it out. If you have a look there behind me, that's where we put up the Starlink. So we have Deysel living up there, and right now I've just got a temporary cable running in there. Right, so even though I'm on the ground, this is basically the view that the Starlink has of the sky. And I've been experiencing some interruptions. Even though I did the scanning, it said this is a great place to put my Starlink. It still says that there are some obstructions when I go into the 12-hour obstruction view. And it's that tree over there, I think, and that tree over there. And I'll see if I can show you on the screenshot of it. As well as those trees over there don't come up as red, but they do come up on the coverage map. So I think I need to go get a longer pole to try and put it up on the barn. It's so windy, every time I have to come inside to record something. Anyway, so this is the original base that comes with the Starlink, and inside it looks like us. Okay, so now if you want the pole mount, you can buy the original Starlink pole mount, and you can wait a little bit for it to arrive, and so forth and so forth. But we are not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of pipe that I've cut like this, and I'm going to see if we can do a 3D print insert for it that can fit this profile over here. In other words, that pipe is quite a lot bigger, but that's the only size pipe I have at the moment. But I was thinking, if it goes over here, we put a nice insert in, and we print a piece that goes down here. That should work, right? Right, so I've 3D printed this pipe insert over here. This is the pipe I'm going to use as my pipe extender, and I 3D printed this insert that went in here, and that matches the dish connector over here. Now just to tap some holes and make a thing that can hold it down. Right, so we got the Starlink dish up, and decided to put it up on the roof, like I said, and it was quite a mission. But currently it's over there, and that's sitting about 8 meters above the ground. And the speeds currently, they fluctuate quite a lot, but it takes about 12 hours allegedly for it to find itself, to determine where obstructions and stuff are. So far the speeds have been anything from around 30 to 40. I've been getting about 190 sometimes. Also other times there's been some network outages. So I'm going to try this spot, and we'll see how that goes. I have the Starlink router set up here right now, just as a temporary place, while we're still testing where the dish should go. And it's worth noting that there are no lights on this. The only light that you get is the little guy there at the bottom that shows it's on. Also, it has no Ethernet ports, so if you're planning to connect up any devices such as wired devices, and also we use a mesh network, and one of the main routers need to be connected up to this. So we've ordered the LAN cable plug-in, and we'll see how that goes. Right, so it's now been about a month since we've had our Starlink, and I thought let's give an update now. It would just be fair. So I made some notes, and yeah, so we got the LAN adapter. That didn't take long to ship. It was actually quite easy. We plugged that right to the bottom of the modem, and we were able to like get some LAN going there. But the biggest problem was after about 12 hours, when the Starlink settled in its new position. It did a real test about its surroundings, and it seems that there were still obstructions, and these obstructions didn't come up in the initial scan that you do with the app, and that was after we scanned the area again with the app, and it said this is a great spot to put your Starlink. So we've been receiving a lot of notifications on the Starlink for no signal received, and network issues as well, so not just purely obstructions. And I understand they're still busy launching satellites to cover the polar region. I kind of wish that the dish didn't tilt so low onto the horizon. It seems to be, if I had to guess, 45 degrees, or maybe actually even lower, onto the horizon. And what happens is it's just catching the tops of the neighbors' trees, which would ultimately mean that we would have to relocate the Starlink. Now, I could put it up on our roof on top of that pole, but the problem is, firstly, that there's no way to get to the Starlink if I had to clear off ice. And even though it is successfully defrosting a lot of the ice, the problem is once it gets to about -27, which it was the other day, we have some serious icing issues on the Starlink. And you would have to then go on and take it off manually. And me climbing up on the roof in -30 and lowering a 6-meter antenna mast is just not something that I feel like doing. So yeah, after a year of being on the waiting list for Starlink, I can say that it's really great, and I'm really sure it would work really well for other people. It just wouldn't work well for us. We would have to put a mast out on pasture, which is probably a 18-meter mast. We'd have to run a few hundred meters of cable there, power and so forth. So at the end of the day, we decided that we won't be using that anymore. Anyway, we hope that you enjoyed this honest review on Starlink. Yeah, it's a great product, and I'm sure as they launch more satellites, then it will become even better in the polar region. But yeah, it's another year that we have to stick out on our directional 4G until we have fiber here. So I think we can survive that. Anyway, folks, catch you next time. Cheers.